G'day champions, champignons. Is anyone here? Dunno. Sorry, it's a bit late. I had to make a wee copy. Oh, it's hot. My eyes are watering. I think my bit rate's a bit high. No drop frames though. So I have better internet at home at the moment. Let's drop that down. I think you guys can deal with about 8 megabits per second. There we go. Dropping down. So what's going on? I just thought I'd do a quick sort of test live stream to see what the Pytha, to show you the Pytha drawing package that I've been a slave to for the last 10 years. Maybe about that, at least. And just finalising a Princeton reverb. You can see it's a little bit blurry back there, but that's my finished Princeton reverb that I've been posting about. And just going to finalise the cabinet drawings. What I want to do is, on my website, it is a e-commerce page, but I let me know if the audio and stuff's right, Jerry. How you going, mate? I want to have like a resources page on my website as well for tech information and for things like CAD drawings, so you can build your own cabinets, layouts, so you can build your own amps, that kind of thing. Make it a little bit more attractive as just a general hangout than just an e-commerce page. And hopefully that will bring in some sales as well, because you can order some strings or whatever. Bits and pieces that are hard to find, that kind of thing. Custom stuff like, say, autofocus. Say the blanking plates for when you've got like 100 watt chassis and you're only using two output valves, that kind of thing, sort of bespoke stuff that you'd have to otherwise get made yourself. Let's see if it'll go autofocus, probably not. It'll go Pulsey Panasonic focus. That's autofocusing. No, it's not. Hey, look at that. No, she just autofocus is so pathetic on Panasonic. It's funny. It's I kind of like it now because it's predictably shit all the time, and it's become a running joke on this channel. Anyway, so let's show you the screen. So there we go. This is Pytha. Very expensive CAD package. I'm not sure what they're asking for it these days, but when I bought it, it was about $16,000 plus GST, and then the support package on top of that. I've done all sorts of crazy shit in this program. I'll show you some really cool stuff, actually, the joinery, but it's a 3D CAD drawing program. This is version 23. I think they're up to like 26 or something now. So I used to use this at a joinery shop, or various joinery shops. It's a really weird sort of customized CAD package, and you haven't heard much about it because they sort of specialize in the joinery manufacturing market. So the idea behind it is it spits out individual parts to a CNC machine, and you can machine them on a flatbed router. You can also do individual panel machining, that kind of thing. This version 23, still had to have quite a bit of software sort of interpreting what you've drawn and then creating DXFs first. So flat 2D DXF files with machining information attached to it. Sort of like metadata, I guess. Not actually visible, but it carries along in the file. So then the next thing, which is called a post-processor, or a various different names for it, but we used to use Biesi machines and Masterwood machines, primarily Biesi. Now they've got their own post-processing system and nesting system, so it will receive the DXF files, and it will figure out what tools it has to use. It'll generate the NC file for that, so the numeric code. You've probably heard of G codes. It's sort of like a semi-standardized programming language for CNC machines, dating back to, really early ones, which were like, punch cards for the programs, that kind of thing. So then it will get all those NC files and it will put them on so you tell it the sheet size, and it will nest them together in supposedly the most efficient way. But all that software was very expensive and very primitive. It was just amazing how hard it was to model some stuff, and then you just see a computer game and like the 3D modeling's perfect, but then in this it was like not capable of it, or it would crash or try and divide by 0 and crash the computer. So yeah, it was quite buggy to start with. 23, well, it got better and better as the versions carried on, and 23 was the last version that I sort of used before I got out of the joinery industry, and I've still got it because it was a perpetual license back then. I think they do subscription-based stuff now, but I think you can still get the perpetual license. So it's got a little dongle, and that dongle is worth $16,000. So yeah, I didn't really take that anywhere. It's sort of locked up in a fucking safe. It's the most expensive and smallest thing I own, pretty much, other than maybe the van, but that's big. So anyway, I was a slave to this software for several years, so I know it pretty well. It's sort of like drummed into me now, so let's see how quick I am. I'm no doubt a lot slower than I used to be, because I used to use it every single day, all day, and now not so much. So what I want to do is refine a few things. I've built that cabinet. I've built that Princeton. It sounds glorious. We had some issues with the WGS ET10 speaker being faulty. I wonder if I can show you I could probably show you the video of that, actually. So it didn't sound quite right. There was something a bit off. It sounded good, but not. There was just something weird, and it got progressively more weird. Now it's a 65 watt speaker, and this is a 15 watt amp. On a good day, like with a tailwind running downhill. So it shouldn't have damaged anything. And the speaker came out of the box, went straight on that baffle, and then got used in that amp. So it's literally the only amp that's been plugged into is this one. And it's only a Princeton reverb, so it couldn't have blown or damaged that speaker. But there was a strange rattle. Now I'll see if it's on my phone. I've got my phone plugged in. I'll see if I can find that file and show you what was happening. I think I've got desk audio enabled. Brad's S23, worst camera ever released on a mobile phone. Yeah, camera. Sort by date. Super annoying that you got to do that every time. It can't remember the files. Scott, how you going, champ? Oh, how you going, Alex? No, it is not SolidWorks. SolidWorks was another competing package, but this is called Pytha. It's a German company. Yeah, there we go. Let's see tell me if you can hear this. Let's see if I can hear this. Oh, it's got to copy it to a temporary folder because it can't. Oh, hang on. Okay, there you go. It's very rattly. I'll just play that again because it cut off the first half. No, it's not clip. Oh, I'm clipping on my voice, am I? So you hear that? It sounds like just sounds like distortion, but that was with the bass turned all the way up to exacerbate it, and that was a really weird rattling that was present mainly on bass notes when there was a lot of cone movement. It sounded like, when I got my head real close to it, it sounded like it was coming directly out of the pole piece, like there was a bit of shit stuck in there from the factory behind the spider. So I'm going to have to send that one back. That was from the speaker factory in Queensland. So it sounds like a diesel idling. I'm clipping when I move into the mic. Oh, Coming from you, that's pretty fucking rich. Have you heard the last 2 live streams you've done, Six? Did you go back and listen to your last live streams? Because they were clipping like fuck, bro. So where was I? Yeah, so I replaced that speaker with another one I had in stock, which was a G10C from WGS, and it's back to sounding glorious. So that's good. So I'll return that speaker, and hopefully that was just a one-off, because that was very frustrating. And I'll just let them send me another one and see if I might use the other one on another build, because I'm pretty happy with the G10C. It's slightly more of a scoop sound than the ET10. The ET10 is very middle forward. However, I modified the tone snack. I modified the tone stack on this one to have like the mid control, like it was turned up a little, so it gives it a bit more balls. The tail resistor is a different value from stock. So yeah. Anyway, I built this cabinet here. Off this drawing basically, but there was a few things like let's see if I got photos up. Wait one sec. Internet, yep, Facebook. I recently posted some photos of it. Yeah, so check this photo out. You can see here that the speaker's off by like 22.5 degrees. So I've got to rotate those screws so they're aligned, top and bottom screw, you know, so the logo is straight and the tag's at the very top. What else was there? I could extend these pieces a bit, not that that really matters too much. So basically I'm going to probably do a video of everything I fucked up on this one. Not that it was very major, but there's always improvements to be made. That ground hole there, I'm going to... These control panels are still a bit red hot because it still says like Fender Electric and blah, blah, blah. So these are fake, made by that Thailand manufacturer. And it's got just things like the voltage is off, the cycles is off, the fuse should be like half that rating because it's double the voltage, so half an amp, slow blow. And obviously we don't use a ground switch because we're not fucking Lazy J or Achilles. So I'm going to put an HT fuse in this hole. Now the back covers you can get from Tube Amp Doctor. They have a hole there, but it's unlabeled, so I think they kind of assume you're going to use that hole for like either maybe a negative feedback switch or something like that. But I'm going to put an HT fuse there, so if one of these valves ever does go short, it'll just take the HT fuse out, a la, you know, every other amp manufacturer on the planet. So that's good. We've got the world's most expensive connectors here. That's Switchcraft. They're like fucking $17 each or something crazy. But they're perfect. They are great. And for the reverb cables, instead of using that stupid thin coaxial bullshit with the outer braid for the vintage mojo, I've just gone with Conair GS6, and everything's perfect functioning in that area. At this point, this was when I was still down the coast, because I built this in Dad's garage, basically. And I just had a blanking plug in there to turn the vibrato off. There is slight background thumping when the vibrato, even when it's the intensity knob's all the way down. So I'm going to investigate that. I think one of the grounds is a little bit, getting a bit of noise coming back from there. So I'm going to rethink the ground scheme a little bit. There is a tiny amount of hum when the bass and the volume's turned all the way up, a little bit more than I'm comfortable with. That's not really a use case scenario, but I like making amplifiers where if you turn the settings to stupid shit, they still will cop it and perform fine. Still using RCA for the foot switches, yes. Again, they're Switchcraft, and on the foot switch, I've got Switchcraft connectors as well. They're nice and compact, right angle. I suppose I could use phone connectors there as well. The weak point there is the actual wire itself, because it's the 3-core, so maybe you could use something like mic cable, but you're probably going to get some some crosstalk into the reverb return from the tremolo if you do that. So that might not be a good idea. Yeah. Anyway, so that's the unit there. Have I got any gut shots? So again, I'm going to replace this front panel with the blank one from Tube Amp Doctor because I don't like having Fender on there when Fender didn't manufacture it. It's just, if it was just Princeton Reverb, but it says Fender and stuff, design, patented, all that bullshit. Because this is a home amp, I was thinking I might just leave that on. I'm not going to sell this one, but if I do sell any in the future, I'll make sure there's no Fender branding on there, obviously. A little bit loose with the Tilex join there. She wasn't spot on, but that's what you get after Tilexing after about a half dozen beers. A little bit nicer on the right hand side. But yeah, doing that Tilex joint, doing all of this is pretty fiddly stuff, as you probably saw in that photo block I put up a little while ago. Here's me doing the Tilex. Used a bit of angle there as a guide for the overlap. Set it to about 20 mil overlap. This is the trickiest part here, doing this join on the corner and sort of folding the flaps over and cutting it, and then you've got to peel it back off a little bit to get the underpiece out, just to get a perfect mirror cut. Normally like to use a like a normal Stanley blade there, but Dad had this snap off extendable blade, which is actually pretty good because you can stretch it longer if you need it. And yeah, that's my roller. So anyway, back to the CAD modeling. Here's the cabinet, and if we look at the plot page, because that's the model, this is the plot page. So this is live views of the 3D model. So if I move this baffle over here, the automatically all of that shows that. This section needs to be updated. You can make it live update, but that tends to fuck up all your dimensions every time you do something. Just Control Z that one. So I want to work on this here, but the thing with Pytha is, say I want to isolate this one part, selected parts visible, that part only, because it's on an angle. See that? If I want to rotate those edges, so you go Edge Tools, Rotate, select those edges. Only the ones that have actual vertex or points within the selection circle will be selected. If I was to select these edges, it would just get that edge there, but I don't want that edge. So if I rotate these, say I want to go 22.5, major point center, 22.5. Now I've just fucked up the part. See all those weird faces? I've just made a part that's not possible in this universe now. Oop, Michelle's home. So now that's an invalid part. See, it's all fucked up. So we can't do that. So what I've got to do is put it on a flat plane. We can use any plane, but I'll just use the XY plane. And to do that, go part. I've got to remember this stuff. Position, 3 points. So I'll select the 3 points. Yep, that part. 1, 2, 3. If I go 1, 2, 3, now it's flat. So now I can go from the top, select edges. What I'll do is I'll create a index point to go off. So I'll go to auxiliary lines, make my points visible. There we go. Select 3. Oh, hang on. Got to remember how to do this. Fillet, yes. Select 3 points, which is what you need to define a curve. Now we've got a circle, and that's our center point there. So I'll go edges, edge tools, rotate edges. So this is rotating the edges. You could rotate the points as well. I've selected those edges. Select my major point, the center. Select my axis, Z, and my angle, 22.5. Bang. Now we've got the holes aligned with the top and bottom. And just check on solid and shaded. we haven't made an invalid part. The part's still valid. It's still got 2 flat faces. So, hello. Just live streaming. We might. You forgot sugar? That's all right. I'm sweet enough. Yeah. So now we've got our baffle how we want it. I'll go all parts visible. Now our things down there again. Now I've got another one over here as a reference before I filleted everything. So this is where I'll pull the parts for the cut, essentially the cut list. So what I'll do is I'll go 3 points again. Part tools 1. I used to be a lot faster at this. That's our part we want to move. That's our 3 points as a reference. Yes. Now we'll go to the existing baffle. Choose the same 3 points. Hello.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Nick.
That's not how it goes, champ.
I don't know it. I don't watch The Simpsons.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Dr. Nick. All right, so that's ended up a little bit off. I might have selected the wrong point, perhaps. Move, and you can go last set. So that's our part. It's a little bit off. So I think I've changed the angle at some point, lined it with something else, and now it's a bit off. I'll just move it to that point there, and then see what's different. Okay, so it's a different. Ooh, something's out. What have we done? All right, let's try that again. I've done something stupid. Like a millionth of a millimeter matters in this stuff because the part's theoretically overlapping or not. Ah, g'day Lyle. How you going, champ? Michelle says hi. So I'll see what I did there because I thought I had the right points there, but 1, 2, 3. All right. Yeah. So it must have lined up to something in the background. Oh, hang on. No, it didn't move. This is where I look like a bit of an idiot. Yeah, they heard you burp. Did you hear Michelle burp? She's very burpy lately. I don't know what's going on. Only this part visible. So I'll redo it because I'm chatting away. I've done something stupid. It's because Michelle distracted me. Reference point in the center. You can just go like this and rotate it, but I'm not sure. It's setting it to 5 degree intervals, which isn't a fraction. So I want to go half of 45, so 22.5 degrees. What? 22.5, mate. Okay. So now I'll put this baffle on top of the other one. Figure out what's going on with the size discrepancy. And then adjust the suit. So this baffle's a very simple design. The one I actually put in there, you've got to have some little cleats to... Okay, that's worked properly this time. That's good. So you can see there's twice the amount of screw holes now. That's because the one part's overlapping the other part. Delete. So now we've got the one, how we want it, right where we want him. I'll copy that. Just choose an edge center as reference. Edge center. Move it 2000. Yeah, I'll probably grab that cabinet and move it 2 meters across. So now our baffle's sorted. Sweet as, bro. So on the front of this, I've got some cleats because you want the You want the grill cloth suspended in midair, so it's not flapping against that. If you were to make a baffle just like this, when you played any bass stuff, the grill cloth would flap against it and sound like distortion. So what I've actually done in reality is put some 6mm hardwood cleats, just stapled and glued. Well, I think I just used pine cleats. I think it was like 20 by 6mm. Stapled and glued around the perimeter on the front face. And then that way the grill cloth, when it's tensioned, it's suspended in midair. So it doesn't flap about and sound fucked. So I'll save that before I forget. But now we've got all our dimensions and stuff down here. So I've made it with 12.7, so half-inch fingers. And that I try to make it so you could make this pretty easily with tools that you could buy from the hardware store, right? Because I want this to be a DIY example. So you can pretty readily get dovetail combs that are half-inch, but if you go quarter-inch, like the original Fender, you need a dado blade pretty much. You could use a quarter-inch router, but they chatter. You'll probably snap it. It'll take forever. What you can do is what Alex does. Thank you, Alex. You're an admin, aren't you? Yeah, so if you want, post your video showing your little cradle thing you've made with the draw runners to make the proper finger joins, because that's a really good way of doing it. And that way you don't have to square the corners out, because the router's actually going in lengthways. But I wanted to make this so you could just use off-the-shelf finger join jigs meant for a half-inch router bit. So that was the plan. Ideally, you'd have a cradle design like Alex has got. Jesus, is there anything amp related you can't do? Well, not really, RJ, because I built them. If there was anything I couldn't do, I wouldn't be able to build them, would I? You don't know how to CAD. You'll pick it up, mate. This is a particularly twitchy CAD package. There's a lot better ones out there for just one-off items. I'll show you what this one's capable of now. Open. I'm probably going to dox some people here by accident. This is the companies I used to work for. What was one of their projects? 2020. This was when I stopped. So this company here did a lot of shop fitting and really complex assemblies, and they all had to be manufactured. So we had to have shop drawings that could be carried through to completion with nothing more than a shop drawing. Main bar overhead. Okay, so this one here, notice the part count down here. This has got 1,400 parts in it. Now I'll just turn off the text. How do I do that? Shit, I'm forgetting. I'm forgetting how to use it. Text. Must be in layers. Anyway. I'll just delete the text for now. Alright, so solid, shaded, yep. Remove points. So these are individual pieces of steel tubing, and they're all powder coated. Now they have to sit in a little cup. So there's the little cup. The cup's a piece of tubing with an end welded onto it. And then the top one's hollow. So you can slide the tubes down because they were powder coated a different color. And then the frame, these were welded to the frame and they were powder coated another color. Here's the pieces of reeded glass. That's what the vertical lines indicate. You know, the glass with the vertical lines on it that you can't really see through, but it's translucent. And then this was the bar, and then they had all the drinks on the inside of here, but they were pieces of mirror sitting on bits of angle. So if I make this part invisible, that was another piece. They had two layers. They had a mirror top and bottom, both facing outwards, and then there was lighting in there, so it lit up all the liquor bottles, that kind of thing. So that was the bit of angle. All of that was welded to the frame. All of these frames were bolted together at various points, and then they were all hung from the ceiling. We had to make a MDF template with all the fixing points from the engineer, and all of that was fixed to the concrete slab above, and it was all load rated and all of that kind of thing, because this whole assembly was probably 2 ton, and then it was loaded up with probably another 1,000 kilograms of stuff. So I think it was about 3 ton load rating on that on that slab above. So you can't just be, you know, bolting shit willy-nilly. Everything had to be certified for safety reasons. But yeah, that was one. What's another one I could show you? I'm trying to find the craziest shit I've done without doxing any of my clients. Oh god, we did so many jobs. I'm just looking at all the job folders. You lose track of all the stuff you've done over the years. They were organised by the building companies. Oh, I can't remember, but our version of what am I trying to say? Our version of Lowe's hardware stores in America was Masters Home Improvements. Let me just find some stuff I can show you. Here's a good one. So this was a steel structure that I came up with to display flooring at our equivalent of Lowe's, and all of that had to hang off pallet racking. So it had brackets, and it had to be knocked down flat packable so it could be shipped, and everything had to be assembled with minimal tools. So you've got things like a piece of SHS, square hollow section, that receives the stabilization bar, so you can just drop it in from the top. And then I think we put some little thumb screws in there so they could reconfigure it. The staff could reconfigure it without too many tools, that kind of thing. And then when you look at the structure there, all the angles had to be bisected and whatever, so we didn't make life hell for the steel manufacturer. So this is my background. This is the stuff I was doing immediately before I went full time in the whatever the hell my job is now. We did. You do stuff like that. We did Big W, and you do different layouts per store. So you know you've got the same basic cabinets, that kind of thing, but you piece them together like Lego for different stores. Things like this. Ignore the colors. That's just indicating different materials. So you just checkouts, that kind of thing. Staff area, storage. Pretty boring stuff. But the cool stuff was the residential stuff, where we did a lot of really, really creative things. Sydney Tower. That's, I believe, the last job that I did. Just see if I can find something cool. Yeah, this one was a monster. This was a desk that had to be free floating and cladded in granite, so it had to be extremely strong. And this is the way we came up with doing it, out of just steel angle. This particular company really hated spending money, so if they had an excess of material, you had to like alter the design to use the shit that they wanted to use up. Yeah, but whatever's covered by granite stays covered in granite or something. And then that was all the structural stuff that had to happen, and all of this had to go up in a lift that was not much bigger than a phone booth, and then it had to get cladded with the granite once it was in Sydney Tower. Sydney Tower, otherwise known as Centrepoint Tower, part of the famous Sydney skyline. You've probably seen Sydney skyline. That's Sydney Tower, otherwise known as Centrepoint Tower. Now it's known as whatever company wants to pay to keep it maintained, probably Westfield. But yeah, well, I think it was that floor there is the restaurant that we built. And that was the last project I sort of did before ditching the whole industry and just doing my stuff. I mean, it was fun. I've probably got a photo of it here somewhere. Bar 88. Bar 88? Sydney Town. Yeah, that's the one. This place, check it out. It looks like a it looks like an Austin Powers set, doesn't it? So this was the last project I did. I drew all those circular sections. Oh, fucking hell. What's wrong with this website? What a shit website. Who's this? Time out. Time out. Your website is fucked. Look. Can't even see the fucking thing. Anyway. Ugh. What a dodgy website. So yeah, this mirror wall here and all the column covers and that. I've still got the drawings for that somewhere too. So yeah, from doing that to just designing a little speaker cabinet, it makes the speaker cabinet look pretty mundane, doesn't it? So there you go, champions. We're gonna rotate these edges because if I copy that other part and take it over, I'm gonna lose all my dimensioning. So rotating these edges, I might still lose a bit of that dimensioning, but we can redo some of it. Edge tools, rotates this part. Oh, hang on. There we go. Rotate by 22.5. Center point, pick. What? Okay, no, it's very confused. So I'd have to create a reference point again. So I don't know if you know, legends, but if you define 3 points, any 3 points in the universe, you've just defined a radius or a triangle. So by picking 3 of those points, it knows where the circle is, what the radius is, where the center is, blah, blah, blah. It's a lot of... When you get into CAD, you have to learn a lot of geometry, and that was probably the scariest part about joinery, because they bring you in and they say make this, and they don't give you a geometry lesson on how to make a theoretical, 3D part that's not invalid, because as soon as you have a face that's not flat, that's an invalid part. Now none of the software will want to know about it. It won't cut on the CNC. It won't even process. Probably won't even export to the next software package. So every part has to be theoretically perfect, like to the exact decimal place. Otherwise, it will be an invalid part. So that was a big struggle when I started out, because these companies just want to see results. But often you struggle to figure out ways of doing stuff. You've really got to think outside the box to make a lot of this stuff happen. So we'll go back to edges. Now we've created our... Oh, hang on. That didn't go through. Yep, sweet. Go to edge menu, edge tools, rotate. Pick our point just to make sure. Sometimes when it goes center, it could be thrown off by something else. So it's always good to just make sure you lock it in. Eddie. Alright, so you can see there that's now, because this dimension here is going off those points, because we rotated it, now it's confused, so we've got to delete that dimension and then create another one, Shift V. Now it's annoying because the point we want to pick here is there. So I'd have to rotate that back. But we might just leave that. We know we've got the radius there. We know what size it is. Oh shit, spilt my cup. And that's your cutouts. This here is the screw center radius. And then that's showing you the size of the hole. So all of these, well, if I get rid of the solid, you can see that line there is the line that all the holes are located on. And they're on a 122 radius, whereas the cutout itself is 114. And yes, it is millimeters. I'm just going to get a cloth, hang on. Alrighty then, just clean up my spilt tea. Don't cry over it. It does have milk in it, but looks like the old TWA terminal at JFK. Yeah, it was done to look retro as, bro. Alrighty then. Alright, what are we talking about? FreeCAD 0.22. 0.22? I thought they were at like version 6 or something. Yeah, I did try FreeCAD. FreeCAD. The problem with CAD packages in general is it's like learning a language. It's really hard to forget the other one and what shortcuts do what and how to operate it. It's not all of the same, let's put it that way. So migrating from one software package to another takes a lot of momentum for you to forget all the old ways of doing things. Just delete these dimensions. So that's kind of annoying now. We've got these points here. So if I go vertical, it won't be exactly the size of the hole. It'll be like 0.2 mil off. So what we can do is go properties, number of decimals 0, 228, close enough, 114, yep. Move text. How do you move text again? Okay, so you move the dimension. I've used it for 10 years and I've forgotten everything. It's not like riding a bike, eh? Properties, and you got to go position of dimensioning top, right. Yeah, there was another way to do it, but I can't remember. 228. We'll just go horizontal. Here, just pick whatever point to the center. Here we go. 231.5, or you can go substitute with text. These two. And just go EQ for equal. Same here, vertical. Select the center. They're both the same. Substitute. EQ. You can see I've got different dimensionings. When you're working for different companies, they like to have different looks about their drawings. Like make all our drawings look like this. So you got to change the formatting and the text and the font size and all of that to suit. Some of them are printing on A4, others are printing on A3. So you got to compensate for that too. Yeah, I think that's all good. So when I plot that, you can see I've got a title block down here. This was drawn several computers ago, or a computer or two ago, or on another computer, and that was the file structure then. So now it's lost this little logo here. So I'm going to have to go through and either change this text block and re-import it, or just create a folder with this path just to fool it into using it and put my new logo there because it had my old stupid egg logo. Anywho, so would anyone be interested in a copy of this? If you are, I'll flick you I'll put a thing on the community page just to post when they're up and ready on my website to download. You can go over there and download it and cut your own cabs, mate. Yeah, that link there. Let's see if I can show everyone this one while we're on. This is Alex. This is me stealing his content.
Apologies in advance for anyone that's listening.
Shut up, Alex. Oh, great audio there. Oh, you got a bit of breakout there, buddy. But yeah, you see the principle there. He's actually doing 1/2 inches there as well. I thought from memory it was 1/4 inch, but yeah, that's the principle. And then you put them together. I think from memory he puts them together quite violently, which is pretty funny. Yeah, hit it harder, Alex. Hit it harder. Where's your mallet, bro? You're taking out some rage on that one, aren't you? I think you need some little clamps, dude, because you're gonna Incredible Hulk that cabinet in half. So anyway, that's the principle, and whichever way you cut them is up to you. But essentially, it's showing you the overall sizes of the panels. So you've got essentially a cut list you can derive from this, just 2 at 505 by 197. It's showing the cut angles set sort of 23.5 degrees. It's showing this is the short edge on top. And then over here, you've got overall size shown set saw to miter 3.9 degrees because you've got your 2 angles here. Your top has this angle on the front edge, and your bottom has this angle on its front edge. So there's 2 different angles because of that control panel, whatever you'd call it, sweep, whatever. Here's your cleats, just made out of, I try to make it out of stuff that you can just buy off the shelf. So 19mm pine is perfectly fine for this, very strong and light, and 9mm ply for the back and the baffle. So the baffle 9mm plus your 6mm cleats for the which I've got a drawer in here yet. It'll end up about 15mm plus your grill cloth, 15, 16, 17, about 19mm. So your baffle will end up about the same thickness as everything else once it's had the grill cloth applied. Blah blah blah. This is the tricky piece. The best way to do it's probably just carefully on a bandsaw and then clean it up by hand with a chisel in the corners. Or you could, if you wanted to make multiple of these, what I'd probably suggest is getting a cabinet shop to CNC these for you, the overall, not the finger joins, and make some templates so you can cut them slightly oversized and then just run a router around them to trim them to get a nice square straight cut. That's one way of doing it. So yeah, all you need is a couple of bits of 19mm pine and a couple of bits of 9mm ply, and you can bloody change the world, mate. All right, we've got people talking about a couple of 8 inches. I don't know what's going on there. Should you save both files for differently oriented speakers if you could fit 2 8-inch speakers in the cabs? If you wanted to sound terrible, sure. Yeah, you could make a 12-inch baffle here too. Well, let's see where that takes us to. I got to remember how to do this. Change radius. Let's just go off the center of the circle here. So what's the cutout for a 12-inch speaker? I think it was 228. No. What am I talking about? 148? I'll just pull up another drawing. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Where are they? Pytha. BGG. Oh, okay. I can import one. One moment. Drag and drop. Oh man, I'm really losing my mojo on this one. Pytha BGG 12-inch driver Boolean. Make it rotatable. Oh, whatever. Rotate. Y-axis center. Y-axis 90 degrees. Alright, so that there is a 12-inch layout. You might get pretty close. 317. You probably have to make the baffle slightly larger. And you're not talking much material there. It's coming pretty close to the edge. So probably make that 320. I think you might have to grow the cabinet a touch. It'll be pretty weak. I know you can get some Princeton baffles that are 12-inch. But yeah, some drivers are pretty much that already. So to be right on the edge might be a bit tight. This is his long way of saying making a Princeton cab ain't no thing. Have you ever made any cabs, Lyle? Like ever? Or do you make someone else do all your dirty work? Here you go, Mark. From Anchorage, Alaska. You guys are copping a bit of a winter storm at the moment, aren't you? Over in the States. Oh, there's my beautiful face. Did a similar thing for the design of a convenience store gas station. Are you into shop fitting, Jim? A small twin with the right speakers. That far face thing I did had two 8-inch drivers. It's pretty weird. All this time I thought I was just another pretty face. I like obscure and different speaker layouts. 2x8 can sound great. Roland JC55, quite like 2x10 cabs. I think 10 inches is as small as I go. Yes, I will show you the new Strat. It's just in the background there, hanging out. So what's the full story on the new Strat in the background? Jesse, I acquired that Strat from Six because he got us to do some dirty work for him as well. When I say dirty work, spray painting. We just did a trade instead of cash, and I saw that sitting. Well, it was in one of his photos from new stock that he got, second-hand stuff. It was basically untouched. The frets were untouched. Look how non-faded it is. It's like it was put in the case when it was new and no one ever played it. But it still had the shortcomings of a standard Strat from Japan. So I'll run you through it. Let's have a look. There she is. So that's got JJ's pickups in it, formerly known as Ben Bailey. Let's put it on autofocus. There's the pickups. Just Alnico things. That's his 65 set, he calls it. But I pulled all the frets out, even though they've barely been played. I don't want jumbos, I don't want stainless. So I finished that yesterday, finished polishing them, pressing them in. Come on, camera. Come on, camera. Yeah, so that's new stainless jumbo frets. And it's got all go-to hardware. I know you love me, Penny Boy. Focus on the thing in front of you. Anyway. So yeah, new bone nut. Let's see if I can just manual focus that in. I'm not really set up for this right now. New polished bone nut. Stainless frets. It's got a 9.5 inch radius. And plays like a dream. Set the action from 1.5 to 1.25 from bass to treble, because this is it's going to be my sort of little clean playing, trying to improve my technique guitar. Put a Sir style treble bleed in it. Pardon me. So what's that? 690 picofarad multi-layer ceramic, and I think it was a 130K in parallel with it. I've got another American strap which I'm putting together out of bits and pieces. I'm going to go with a Kinman style in that with the series and see what the difference is. Part of this is just educating myself on the different treble bleed circuits and playing with different pots. For I'm not a big fan of this CTS taper. Almost nothing happens as you roll it back until you get to like 3. It's like from 3 to 10 is like 25% of the resistance, and then from 3 to 0 is the rest. So it's the opposite of burns, which cut off real quick if you roll it back too quick. So it's sort of like burns is too fast as it rolls off, and CTS is not fast enough. So I'm going to try some other pots. I think Alpha from memory, even though they're lower quality pots, they've got a better taper. So maybe I'll switch to Alpha for that reason. Alright, Penny Boy. So that's just my home guitar now. I always wanted an off-white Strat, vintage white Strat with rose fretboard, and now I finally got one. So I'm going to hang on to this forever. Or, to pay for my coffee addiction. I don't know. But yeah, it's just that and the Princeton down there. It's just going to be my little home practice rig. Quite a nice little setup, eh? I'll do some sound samples when I get back into it this week. Vintage white, yes. The guitar collection? Oh, I don't know. Very dusty. That shows I haven't been playing enough. I like this thing. It's a Parkwood, which was Court's sort of foray into trying to make a prestige brand, but still made in China. It's a really nice guitar. It's got a solid spruce top. Yeah, sounds really nice. Fisherman prefix, so that's got the mic built into it as well. Not on the gooseneck like the premium ones, but just built into the preamp body. So that's nice for getting a pretty natural sound. It's got a notch filter, which is handy if you've got a little bit of hum on stage or whatever. And it's got 3-band with a shiftable mid. Oh, there, new dent there. I'm going to refret this one too, because I'm not a fan. The frets is sort of the one thing that's letting it down. The ends have got a little bit of a gap under them. I'm going to refret this with medium Evo Gold, the harder than nickel stuff. And it's got a slight gold colour. And I'm going to upgrade the tuning machines. That's got the stock Grovers there. But I'd like to see some, maybe I'll try those ratio tuners from Goto that are a different ratio per string, so each one of them has the exact amount of turns per semitone or whatever. And here's my bass for at home, just a Cort B4, Bartolini Mark 1, Bartolini Mark 1 pickups, a healthy layer of dust that I don't play enough. I'll pop some strap locks on there. And yeah, that's the main bass for if I've got to fill in for someone or whatever. It's got a volute because I love volutes and I don't like broken necks. It's hard to do this back to front. There you go. It's got hip shot tuners. So a lot of them just had cheapy tuners, whereas this one was, I think, the last of the ones that had the actual hip shot tuners as standard. Is my audio doing weird stuff? I think I've doubled up here. Hang on. What? I think I had the same input twice. Let me just double check all those settings are right. 1 sec. Yeah, return. Still sounding okay, Legends? Is it all good? You can never have too many guitars. I tried to tell my wife about having too many guitars, but it didn't work. Well, I just buy yourself a music shop, mate. That's how I got around it. Video's looking a bit glitchy. I think it's gone. It started to its own settings again without me doing anything. Let me just get the properties, check that I've got the right frame rate. 50 frames a second, yes. Buffering's just disabled itself again. Enable. That's smoother, isn't it? Look at that. It keeps disabling its own buffering. Oh, there goes the battery. That's fun too. Let's put the GH5 into action. One moment, legends. I'll just give you something. I look really green. Everything's gone green. Bing. Alright. Let's try this out. Select white. Set. Unable to proceed. Scene is too dark. Okay. Let's change exposure, but you can't. You've got to exit that first. Now everything looks really weird. Alright, let's try that again. White balance. There we go. Back to neutral. I'm a little overexposed though, so let's change that. There we go. Minus one stop. That's better, isn't it? Did bump the camera though. So where were we? It's how I am calm on live streams. By bashing stuff. Alex. There we go. I'll stop playing with the camera now. I still use older software, Office 2007, for many things because it doesn't require an internet connection to work. True. That is a big draw card of the older software. Let me just okay, so that, I'm not sure why that setting changed. I didn't change anything. OBS just changes shit by itself. Okay, so is it working now? The pots I want. Oh, Mojo Tone Vintage. Yes, thank you. That sounds better now. Okay, yeah. I tested the sound, I recorded video, everything worked. As soon as you press go live, the settings just changed themselves. OBS is fucked. Anyway. Alright, so everyone tell me now, how is the audio? Is the audio good? Hey. Oh, you know what happened? There was one that was set for the mic auxiliary input, which is directly from the mic straight into OBS. The other one is coming from the return, so it goes through the Mo 2 compression and EQ. So there's a slight delay there because of the compression and EQ introducing latency. I created that one and didn't delete the other, so I can't delete it, but I'll just make sure it's muted. Excellent. Super good audio. That's what I aim for after all. I'm an audio person. It can be very hard doing this because you can't, there's no easy way to listen back to it straight away. Am I using demon nut things for the back panel? Yes, I will, Jesse. I haven't put the back panel in yet, but when I do, I'll do that. G'day everyone. I'm wanting a set of 54 strap pickups. How are we all doing? Going bloody great, Murray. Last day of holidays. Tomorrow I'm a little bit nervous. I'm a bit nervous about going back to work. Psionic Audio Lyle is a bit down. That's not good. I tried a chocolate chip cookie recipe build as world's best and it wasn't, not even close. I want those 2 hours back and I want the cookies I was looking forward to. Well, mate, if that's all you're down about, you're doing all right. At a certain point in collecting, you just need to go ahead and open a store. Well, that's what I did, Jerry. No, I advise against it, though. Cookie equals biscuit. Yeah, we call them both. Bicky. We call them bickies, not biscuits. Biscuits. That's very highbrow. That's very, royal. We call them bickies. We also call ecstasy bickies, too, like disco biscuits. So you can get a bit confused. Depends who you're talking to. Have a disco bicky. Will a 12-inch speaker work in a metric cabinet? Oh, I don't know. There's it's a funny joke. I'll go back to my balls, yeah. Gotta go with the proper chocolate, not that fake shit. But American chocolate dog shit anyway. It's like vomit. You need some proper milk chocolate like we've got out here. It's closer to Belgian style. Hershey's is, yeah, it's vomit. Easier, stronger to cut a 45. I guess you mean degree. And biscuit, or is that sag relic? What? 45 degree with a biscuit is nowhere near as strong. And it sort of could allow the timber to cut over time and then open up that joint. Biscuits aren't very strong in general. There's better ways to do it. Biscuits have their place, as the dominoes from. I've got the domino cutter from Festo. That's a lot stronger. But how long was the Echo going for? Because I tested it and it was fine at the start. That's super weird. Just do 50s. What 50s wiring, Lyle? Send me the link to the right pots. Yep, cool. Thanks for that. I'll grab some of them. It sucks that there's so few that are, you know, suitable. 250k shot pot should be a 250k pot, yeah. Audio taper. The tapers are so different. You can't really even define the taper. You can't say this is audio taper, this is some random taper, and this one's a completely other random taper. So the delay started at some point? That's weird. I've noticed most acoustics come with smallish frets. Is that an intonation thing? I'm not sure. I think it's just everyone wants to be Martin, and that's what Martin did. Court makes import G&Ls. Yeah? Fixed. Yeah, that's when I fixed the audio. The audio's gone. What? Is the audio there right now? Oh, fuck me. Like, I'm not doing anything different, and just every time there's some new problem. When I change scenes, my audio drops out. Okay, hang on. Okay, so Motu. Just, alright, just give me a sec. Alright, is that good? Yeah, it's clipping. Turn the compressor off, because I've already got a compressor happening. Got audio there, got audio there, got audio there. So you're trying to tell me before, when I was showing you CAD, that I had no audio? Because I haven't changed anything. It's just, oh my fucking god. I think that's the biggest problem everyone has with OBS, is it just does shit randomly without you doing anything. Enjoy your ramen, Neil. Okay, so audio's good now. Fuck's sake. Yeah, I don't know how to change OBS from doing shit by itself. I just need to keep up to date with the chat all the time. All the time. I have no audio at times, but it's noisy now. What? It's the same fucking input. What? Oh my fucking god. Properties. Return, yeah, return. Advanced audio properties. I suppose you're going to tell me now there's a fucking delay. How can it be noisier now? There's literally nothing's changed. And why is it louder now? It's the same fucking input. It's fine now. I've heard that before. No, I can see... yeah, the noise is probably the fan. It's pretty humid still. Yeah, you said it was fine before. I'm just going to check monitoring. 1 sec. Hey, yeah. Hey, yeah. All right. Audio. Goes 180 out of phase. Good one. Alright, I'll trust you that it's awesome. And to stay up to date. Speaking of audio 180 degree out of phase, I recently had a twin reverb in. I don't think I did videos on that one actually. I think I was too busy. And so much wrong with it. A lot of repairs, full on restoration basically. And the biggest problem, which I'm amazed that he didn't pick up, was the two speakers were wired out of phase to each other. And that just sounded like your brain was being sucked out through your ear holes when you stood in front of the amp. The delay was when I was showing the guitar for about 5 minutes. Yeah, I didn't change anything. All I did was plug the camera in. Maybe that fucked it. I don't know. Maybe because I didn't disconnect the HDMI thing, so I would have still registered that it was a thing. Oh, that's like the fourth time. Okay, I've mentioned it before. Livestream. It was a twin. That happened on a Roland jazz chorus as well. Someone's worked on it and plugged the second speaker back in out of phase. That was cool. Anyway. So, another project coming up. I was showing you my guitars, wasn't I? But anyway. So you've probably all seen one of these floating around. Super Champ XD. So the problem is that they blow their DSP boards. These little chooches. Once they die, the amp goes in the bin because there are no replacements and all the audio goes through them. Sometimes in some Fender amps, the DSP was used just for effects. In this one, the whole signal goes through it and that actually shapes the tone. So basically it's just a input stage and output stage with nothing in between. Everything else is done digitally. All the pots are all like 10k and they just send 50k linear and they send a voltage divider signal to the microprocessor, which determines what you want by, where the knob is. So basically all of that is kind of useless now because the little DSP daughter board which goes on there is useless and you can't get a replacement. Hello. So what I want to do is make a new layout for this that still has the valve sockets in the same place, still has the quick connects to use the existing transformers there, and still has the jacks in the same position, but has an entirely fully functional preamp in it, and sell that as a drop-in replacement. So you can bring these things back to life and make them sound better than they ever did. Problem is the transformer. So it's only got enough heater current to supply two 6V6s and one 12AX7, which is a phase inverter. You throw more valves at it and it's going to overload that transformer. Oops, a Rossmann special. Huh? You spelt Rossmann wrong, Ted. It's got two N's. So saw the board in two and build off that is actually what Dad did. He's got one that he's built. It's on the New Year's Eve video 2 years ago. You can look that up. He actually literally cut the board and used sections of it and bypassed other bits and built a slow clone in it and then added tremolo and reverb because he's a madman. So yeah, you could use high voltage FETs 6. That's one way. The other way is use the bipolar supply that is meant for the op amps and just basically build your favorite pedal into it. And I think what I'm going to do is basically build a sort of like a BEOD Friedman front end in it with op amps, and then just use the valve output stage, which would be kind of cool. That's probably what I'm going to roll with anyway. And it'll be fun as a little project just to brush up on CAD before I start producing some of my products. You could use LND 150s, but I'm just going to go with an op amp front end. So, whiskey talk. Archie Rose. Sydney Distillery. It's pretty good. Oh, Panny Boy. Let's see if I change the focus method. Quick menu. Face detect. You're on my face. Off my face. So if I hide my face, it'll probably go blurry. No. Archie Rose. Sydney Distillery. I want to do a tour of that place. I reckon it'd be pretty cool. Good whiskey. Focus. Come on, champ. Oh, this thing is comical. So the story goes that this was accidentally a blended whiskey. So he accidentally mixed the rye with the single malt, and it was actually really good. So they released it and named it after the bloke who fucked it up. That was like $90 or something from Aldi of all places. And Nika. I'm trying to brush up on my Japanese whiskey knowledge before we go to Japan, so I'll know what's what. Might sound like a complete dumbass. He acts like he's got a Sony. You wait, mate. When they bring out the GH7, it'll be show over for Sony. Cold tea. Lovely. Anyway, let's open another cabinet. Oh, look at this. Probably haven't shown you this. Before I moved into my shop, we still got audio? We still got audio? I hope we still got audio. Still got audio. I modelled the whole store before I even moved anything in there. So you can see the layout. There's the workshop. Here's the bench where I do all my filming and electronics in this little corner here. Here's the bench where I do all the guitar setups. And if you have a look, you can see the structure of the wall inside, the PowerPoints. All of this was planned before I even moved in. And that's the guitar rack where all the guitars are hanging. It's not showing the pallet racking, but this is the pallet racking in the storeroom. You know, the air compressors down here. Here's the bathroom and the little kitchen. There's the office. There's the wall where the strings hang. Here's the pedal display unit. All the PA stuff's over here. That cabinet I didn't end up getting because I wanted a walkway. I even drew the little table which I built. That's over here now. You can see it in the background behind the fan. There you go. Little table back there. So yeah, even the little desk was modelled. See you, Lyle. Take it easy, bloke. I don't know what time it is over there. Must be pretty late. So yeah, everything was modelled before I even stepped foot in the door. What else have we got? So I've got another series of cabinets here. So this one's designed... Well, this is a tweed style cabinet. So I've got the plans for this as well. I think that one's completed. Yeah, you can see the cleats there. I've actually drawn in the screw holes and stuff as well. The cleat sizes aren't critical. You could use whatever you got floating around, but 6mm thickness is what you want. So that one will be popular, I think. You can make that out of a hardwood if you want. This part here tends to look a little messy if you go with a non-covered, like a hardwood or something, because there's a few different joins and stuff happening around there, but I prefer a tweed myself. But yeah, I think people will enjoy having the plans for that, because this is modelled off the actual fender dimensions and everything, so it'll suit any chassis aftermarket stuff. I think I've done these holes for a not the leather strap style, because they just fall apart after a while. Everyone loves them, but you only really put them on if you're not going to move the amp, if it's just going to be a studio or a home amp, because they the leathers just deteriorates very quickly. So that's one of them. What else have we got? Got the Princeton reverb. Got a narrow head cab. So this is going to be the style of head cab for my little high gain heads. I don't know why the colours have gone off. Shaded. The material files are probably gone. But yeah, so that's going to be like an anodized red. And then the cabinet's going to be black. So that'll look pretty cool. It's got the honeycomb look going on. You can see through and see the valves glowing. I'm not going to put lighting in there because that's a bit cringy. I am going to do one display one, which is going to be white. And it's going to have a silver anodized front and back. And it will have opal acrylic behind it with RGB LEDs behind it. It's a bit of a cheesy eye-catching one, but the production ones are going to be black. Not Tolex, the roll-on stuff. Duratex, black Duratex, and the 3mm aluminium laser cut front and back with the logo there. Probably going to change the logo. I'm not a big fan of the egg anymore. Might do for now, but... So they're going to be little compact 50-watt heads, high gain choochers with an effects loop. Deluxe tweed. I've got a deluxe reverb as well. Cabinet Rev B. Yeah, so this is a deluxe reverb. Same principle as the Princeton. Looks wrong, doesn't it? Without the grill cloth, realizing how far over the speaker is. But that's how they are. Oh, I've got to redesign this back. I don't know why I just chucked it. I think I just copied that panel, but that's supposed to have the cutout in it as well. So I'll have to revise that. Jim Cox. I'm an aerospace automotive designer, but when I was young, I did a floor plan for the service station. I didn't do any detailed cabinetry, but I modelled up gondola shelving and such for some 3D views. Yeah, I've got all the standard gondolas and stuff because we fitted out Woolworths and Big W and various other shops. And you draw it once and you just drop them in, and it shows you the layout of the store for them to for the marketing guys to figure out what's going where. So yeah, when all of these drawings are finalised, I'll pop them up. I'm just doing them as a spare time thing at the moment, you know. See you 6. Take it easy, mate. You're getting some repairs in. Good to hear. Oh, here's a head cab for a Mesa Boogie Mark IV, I think it was, conversion to from combo to head. You can see the cutout there for the reverb tank, including clearance for the RCA connectors and the right angle connectors, because there's very little room in there. The reverb tanks are actually mounted from the bottom in the Mesa Boogie cabinets to try and get them further away from the transformer, I guess, but also just for compactness. So that was the front grille there, which had the basket weave cane in it. And that's the factory suspension, weird little brackety things that suspend the chassis with rubber. Another Mesa genius idea. Oh, and there's a speaker cabinet. Yeah, this was done with mortise and tenon style construction. Not sure why there's no back on that. I thought that was a closed back, but I might be wrong. Probably did it in a hurry. Anyway, I might piss off, legends, and just thought I'd give you a quick look at that. And what's involved in sort of just making a quick modification to a cabinet. I'll do an edited video of designing a cabinet from the ground up one of these days in Pytha. Not that it's going to be much use to anyone, because to get Pytha you're going to lay down about $20,000. But you'll just see how I do it out of interest, and maybe if we get some CNC stuff cut. If I do start offering a line of amps, I'll be probably not doing the solid timber thing. I'll be doing birch ply, because it's more cost effective and time efficient. If you're making hardwood or just timber cabinets in general, there's no really super quick way to route them on the CNC or whatever, because you got to hold down thin strips of wood rather than sheet stock. So I'll probably be doing birch ply cabinets, at least for the non-traditional stuff, and maybe offering a couple of more vintage style amps as well, but only as I build them. I won't be doing them to order. Basically build them when I feel like it, and then you can buy them or not, but I'm not having someone order an amp and then ring me every 5 minutes asking when it's going to be ready, because that's very stressful. But I might even take you down to the shop where they get cut, my brother's workshop, and show you the CNC in action. I think when I did the last run of base cabinets, I think I put up a short, but that was about it. I can run you through the routers and how it works and show you running the cycle, cutting the cabs. Be interesting. Anyway, have a good Sunday, champions. Everyone, we're a day ahead of everyone in the States, but enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take it squeezy.